So I'm gonna make a little post here about Dropbox. It's actually one of my favorite softwares or cloud-based storage systems. The great thing about Dropbox is honestly that you don't have to worry about really having something lost because it actually saves it to the cloud, which is online, the internet. But it's obviously secure because only you can see it with a login and a password, sort of like an email thing. But the really cool thing about it is it syncs up with your desktop. So um, here is I'm using a Mac, by the way. So this does apply to PC, but this is the tutorial. I'm using the Mac. You can see that it gives you little icons, this Dropbox. And then in there, you have a whole bunch of folders that you can create. They give you a couple basics. But once you have all your folders set up, you can see they put these little icons on, a little green arrow, which means it's a check mark for it's been synced with the online version. So here I am, I'm using Firefox, and I logged into Dropbox.com, and this is immediately what I got, obviously after I set this up. So let's just, using my desktop folder, my Finder, I'm just going to grab this file here, I'm going to put it in personal, and you can see this little icon up here, the little Dropbox icon, that actually will sync. And I'm going to hop over here, and we're going to see that it just moved it. Just moved it from the regular place to the private place. Now, a couple tricks to Dropbox, which I like, is let me just kind of click this icon here up to it. Let's say I have a lot of storage on Dropbox, but I have very little space on my actual computer. And what you can do is once you get everything into the Dropbox folders, you can actually go into this little wheel here and go to Preferences and just pop this open. And then you go into Advanced, change Settings, and here you can check or uncheck the folders that you want to have on your computer. Basically, I got a whole bunch of stuff here that I just never really, it's not using up my computer storage space, it's just using up Dropbox. So it keeps my computer quick and it keeps me from, ever really having anything seen or lost. So that's kind of a cool feature. Just some more of the features here. You can actually change the bandwidth. So it slows down the download rate, meaning that, let's say you're on a really crappy connection, like Starbucks, Panera Bread, you can actually click the limit to only 50 kilobytes a second, which is a lot less. You can knock this down to like 10 or raise it. You can go, or the no limit, it's just enormous amounts of download. The upload rate can also be limited as well. This will allow, basically you can still surf the web and watch videos and stuff like that, even on a crappy connection, even if this thing is syncing. So I'm going to cancel out of here. This is your count, you got on the computer here. And then general, and this is just some fun stuff here. You do want to make sure it opens and startup. There's also the Dropbox camera import. Dropbox just came up with a new thing where you actually can sync your iPhone or something or your camera to the photos. And here is you can see some funny photos. Just some layouts. So here's all the photos. They stored right on here for me. And I can actually go back in time to different years, and it's actually laid out here. And they keep changing this. They keep enhancing it. So it's a great thing to use for any kind of photo storage that you may or may not want. So that's that. And the other couple of other great things about Dropbox is how easy it is to share. So for instance, and that's not just sharing using social. Let's say I want to send like this great photo here. I want to share that photo. Just click it, share. I can actually just email this to somebody immediately, and they'll actually have access into it. So that's the one thing. That's just the photos. Let's go to the Dropbox folders themselves. If I, for instance, want to, let's just go into one of the shared folders here, and we'll just go into this one. That one's empty. So sorry. Let's just go back, and we'll find something I know is not empty. It's not empty. And let's say I want to share this image here. I can actually, this file, it's a Photoshop file. I can actually click on this file and click a share link. And what that does is it creates a link. I can just hit the get link, and it copies it right to my clipboard. I'll just paste it here. And that's the link right there. And I'll show you what you see. Let me just create a new browser and paste that link right in. Hit go. And it just creates a link for that one file. So you can email someone that link, and they can just get that file. They can download it. There used to be a thing called You Send It, but this kind of cuts out FTP, does all this stuff for you. It's actually really cool. So that's another one. Let me think of another cool features. You can obviously check events and see what's happened in your Dropbox when you download, you upload, if someone used it. You can share a folder with somebody. You can say, I want this particular folder here. Just go into clients. I want this particular folder right here. I want to actually share one of these folders here. I can actually go one of two places, and this is back on my browser here. I can actually right-click here and, even jump over to share this folder, and this will take me over to Dropbox once it thinks itself through. And here it actually will, I can put in an email address, and this will email that person, and they'll be able to, if they have Dropbox on their computer, they'll be able to share that folder. So if I put a file in there, it'll immediately land on their computer. The great thing about this is that you don't need to worry about emailing like 200 files back and forth. If you have a designer or something and you want him to or her to see a bunch of your logos, instead of just emailing them all, you can just keep dropping them into Dropbox, and they'll be able to pull from that. And if you, you're doing like some type of presentation or whatever, you can keep putting it up there and putting up the updates. And you'll actually get an email and it makes an update. So again, Dropbox, great thing. Lots of new things popping up with it. If you end up like going beyond the free account, which it has, it's not too much money. It's actually relatively cheap for a year. I think it's like about $100 for the entire year to have all this great control. So strongly recommend it. Get Dropbox.